Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was born in 1706 to a large family in Boston, Massachusetts. When he was born, he was intended to become a clergyman for the Protestant religion. However, at age 10, he had to leave school and become an apprentice to his father as a candle maker. However, not enjoying this task, Franklin was again as an apprentice for his brother John, who was a printer. During this time as a printer's apprentice, Franklin wrote letters under the pseudonym of Silence Dogood, where he pretended to become a middle-aged widow. These letters were very popular when they were printed in John's paper. However, no one ever knew that it was Benjamin Franklin. When his brother became slightly too abusive, Franklin left Boston and moved to Philadelphia, where he worked as a printer for some time. However, by the encouragement of Governor Keith, he eventually went to England in order to buy printing supplies so that he could start his own printing business. When he got to England, however, he was moneyless and was unable to get back to America. He worked in England for several years and returned to Philadelphia after about 2 to 3 years of being in England. When he returned to Philadelphia, he did start his own printing business. And during this time, when he was a businessman, he wrote works such as Poor Richard's Almanac, which became very popular in the colonies at the time for its quick-witted aphorisms and short little sayings that people often quote today. When he was 21, he founded a group called the Junto. The Junto was a group of like-minded men who got together very often in order to share ideas and write and improve each other. They were attempting to make each other self-made men. The Junto was responsible for creating the first volunteer fire department in Philadelphia, as well as the first public library and several other public service organizations. At age 42, Franklin retired from being a printer and became a gentleman of leisure. At this point, he began devoting his life entirely to science. During this time, he was very prolific in his inventions. He developed bifocals, the Franklin stove, which was a cast iron stove that would allow homes to keep heat in better without losing it all up the chimney. He also created a musical device known as a glass harmonica, which was played by rubbing one's fingers against the glass circles all along the harmonica in order to create different tunes. Of course, Franklin's greatest discovery was the fact that lightning was electricity. This led to his creation and invention of the lightning rod, which protects buildings even today. It's one of his greatest inventions, and this is a depiction of the night he discovered that lightning was electricity when he touched the key that was attached to the string of the kite that was flying in a thunderstorm. Of course, when the Revolution began in America, Franklin became very involved in politics. This is a cartoon that he created in order to join the colonies together in the fight against Britain. Franklin became the primary liaison and diplomat between Britain and America during this time, also between America and France, who became America's primary ally during the Revolution. Franklin died in 1788 in Philadelphia, where he is buried. He is remembered today as one of the first and greatest Americans and is remembered all over the United States with memorials such as this. And that is Benjamin Franklin.